We will conduct 3 experiments to measure the relationship between physical performance and emotional state. The first of these being the force of finger musculature, the second being a counter movement jump, and the third being the velocity of a thrown ball. There are 5 emotions that we will be testing in this experiment, these being happiness, anger, anxiety, sadness, and an emotion-neutral state. The test subjects were asked to conduct these various emotions by remembering a specific memory where they experienced that emotion. Once they had that memory in mind, they had 1 minute to develop that memory, and then they were asked to perform the experiment. In experiment 1, we will be measuring the force of finger musculature in our participants using a bidigital O-ring test. While sitting down, the participant placed their thumb in one ring and their index finger in the other ring. After an acoustic tone sounded, the participant had 3 seconds before a pulling force started, and they were instructed to resist this force in keeping their fingers close together. For each emotion, we conducted 6 trials, and participants had a short resting period between each trial, and following each emotional state, they had 3 minutes to generate a new emotion. Following completion of the test, they were asked to complete a Likert scale questionnaire to rate their emotional state.
Remember in high school when you scored that goal and everyone was going crazy for you?
Remember you had to wash your roommate's dishes last night? How'd that make you feel, huh? Anger?
Don't experiments kind of make you nervous? Don't mess up. Don't think too hard, but do a really good job. Don't mess up though.
Remember when you got your ice cream cone and then you dropped it? Doesn't that make you sad?
For experiment number 2, participants performed a counter movement jump, or a CMJ, using a forced platform. They are instructed to stand with their hands on their hips, with their feet a shoulder width apart. They were then instructed to produce an explosive movement vertically to their maximal height, and this was repeated for 6 trials for each emotion, with a short rest in between each trial and a longer resting period in between each emotional state. For experiment number 3, we were measuring the velocity of a thrown ball. After generating their emotion, participants were instructed to throw a ball as hard as they can at a goal that was positioned 7 meters away from them. The speed of the ball was measured with a radar gun that was positioned directly behind the goal. Participants completed 6 trials with a short resting period in between each trial and then a longer resting period in between each emotional state.
Summer when you were like sitting in the sun and it was nice and warm and you were sipping your little pineapple juice.
Hey, you remember when that jerk cut you off in the parking lot? Huh? How angry are you? Huh? Ah!
You should probably throw the ball. Throw it really hard, really fast. Don't miss though.
I mean, you can throw it, I guess. Like, does it really matter?
What our results tell us is that anger and happiness are the 2 most effective emotions for increasing physical performance on the physical tasks that were performed in the 3 experiments that we did. And there's no clear way that we can disentangle the 2 from one another. All 3, emotion neutral, anxiety, and sadness, didn't really have a meaningful effect on performance, but they also did not decrease performance of the participants. What we found is that the emotion needed to be related to the task in order to highly increase the participants' performance. For example, on the counter movement jump test, something like anger might cause someone to want to lash out, which is a very similar movement to wanting to jump. And similarly, happiness might cause someone to want to leap for joy, which is another very similar movement to jumping. So overall, what we have found is that in order to effectively increase performance on the physical tasks, the emotion that is generated must be related to that specific task.